Hello, everyone. Hi, Josh. All right. I think let's get this volume turned down. I hope we got this. Oh, that was a little crazy. That was a little crazy. All right. Let's make sure that we got this good. Oh, Josh. Nope, can't hear.
Yes. You can't hear me?
We can. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, I said
We're
I
good.
said hi.
You did?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm using a minimalist approach. I'm trying something new. That's what podcasts are all about, right?
Yeah, I guess. I guess we could do that if we want to. For some reason, our screens are all messed up here.
Hmm.
Let me fix you.
It looks okay on the stream.
Does it?
What
I
I'm
don't
looking
know. I
at
kind
looks
of want to
okay.
move you around. Move you around a little bit.
Hmm.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Okay. All right. We have to. What are we doing today? It's been a while.
I think
Uh,
we're trying to get through section 8.
yeah, Section 8. That's right. Welcome, everyone, to Unratified ACR.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, we're going through the Constitution at the moment, going section by section,
First
article by
one.
article, line by line, word by word, letter by letter, space
Yeah.
by I got nothing, pixel by
Yeah.
pixel.
Well, I mean, you can't forget about the white spaces, like we're talking computer
I mean,
science.
those are actually very important
Agreed.
because if you didn't have spaces, it would look really really weird. Okay, let's jump in here. Let's see what we got. We were on section 8, powers of Congress, I believe, and we
Yes.
left off, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we were doing military
We
is
were on
where
the military,
well,
correct?
we were getting to it. Yeah, like that was going to be the next thing.
Well, I think did we stop on to declare war? I can't remember if war was the last thing or if we went
Yeah, because I think we talked a little bit about piracy, right? Like,
piracy and felonies committed on the high seas and what exactly is the high seas. And I had a viewer reach out to me afterwards. High seas, um, because back when this was written, the only thing you really had were the oceans. You didn't have airspace. You didn't have the space, or as we like to call it, outer space.
yeah.
Um, and reached out and let me know that space or outer space is governed by maritime law,
Huh.
supposedly. So that is where our laws for outer space come in, is also maritime. So I would think that the high seas would also translate into maritime law, right?
Yeah.
And that outer
Yeah, I would
space
have to
would
agree with that.
you would think.
Isn't it interesting how we as humans we have to carve up everything, like define it and quantify it, like you know that like that space has to be governed by maritime law,
Well,
like
okay,
like
and this is
who the fuck? Like seriously, who the
I,
hell says that we get to do that? Like,
well,
but we do it anyways.
we do. We do
Yeah.
because and this is the fantastic part about that. And the reason why we have to do that and the reason why we have to have constitutions and all of this stuff is because if we don't do it, if somebody doesn't set the precedence, somebody else will and will try to take advantage of it for their own personal gain.
Yeah. See, that's the part that pisses me off.
Yeah,
I just get irritated about.
exactly.
Like,
That asteroid flying through space. Hey, nobody's claimed that yet. It's mine. What?
yeah. And
I
it's
mean,
like,
come on.
can't we all just yeah.
We we sell stars. You can buy a star.
Yeah, right.
And you can
Yeah.
go online and buy
Yeah,
a
because
star.
we have some kind of claim on that, I guess. Like,
Because if we actually, when we eventually get the technology to get out to that star and then realize that
like we
there's
had
another entity out there that has already
yeah,
laid claim to that star. Hey, but we have a piece of paper that says I bought this for $10
right.
2,000 years ago.
Hmm. So it's mine.
It's
You know.
mine. You can't have
Yeah.
it.
Right.
We've lived here for over 10,000 years. Don't care. I bought it.
You see this paper? Yeah. Like I'm not playing around here.
It's mine.
Yeah.
I bought it. I own it all.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, I mean, people will do anything to. I still I do find it funny that you like you can buy a plot on the moon. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure you can.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sure you're right about that. Like, doesn't mean I'm any less irritated by hearing it.
buy moon property, lunar real estate.
Oh God.
Choose where you will land on the moon via the official International Lunar Lands Registry. There is an International Lunar Lands Registry to where you can purchase. You can name a crater too. Oh, let's do the Lake of Dreams. Oh, Indian rupee. Okay, how about we do $40 to $250.
That as far as land goes, that's pretty cheap.
$40 an
Although,
acre. If you do one, it's $25 an acre if you do 10 acres. I mean, I am surprised that there hasn't been somebody that has like a millionaire or something that's just buying it all up and just saying, "Screw you guys, I own it all."
yeah.
I mean,
Um, the
right there, I'm
fact
going to
that
build a
this
house
shit,
right on the edge of that crater, and I'm going to fill that crater in with water. I'm going to have my
there you
my
go.
lakefront property.
Yeah. And then as you fill it in, the water will float away.
So,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to terraform. We're just going to set off a couple thermonuclear bombs up there. We'll terraform the moon. Give it an
Sure.
atmosphere. I'm sure that will
Yeah.
not cause any problems whatsoever for the Earth.
No, no, and not for the earth either. It
Mm,
won't, it won't
not at
change
all.
anything about how.
Mm-mm. Okay. Anyways, back to what we were talking about before we. So, anyways,
The
maritime law in space, outer space, maritime law. I
Yeah.
and I'm guessing
Well, then I guess it's covered.
air like inner space or airspace is not governed by maritime law, right?
I mean, I think there's separate laws for that. Like, I think there's pretty settled international law. I mean, let's check. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about how all of that goes. Let me check on something here real quick. Okay. Okay. I think give me 1 second here.
It says civil aviation rules are globally standardized. Um, States have complete sovereignty over the airspace above their territory. Military aircraft have different laws. There's flight information regions. It's not agreed upon where airspace ends and outer space begins.
Nice.
Most countries use something called the Kármán line, which is at 100 kilometers around the Earth, above the ground.
Yeah, that I can see that there's some definitions of where outer or space and airspace ends and space begins. I'm gonna coin that. It's now space. It's not outer space. It's space.
Space.
Space and beyond. Oh man, it's terrible. Okay. Um, So, anyways, that's what we talked about last time. But we need to talk about declaring war.
Yeah.
So,
Which if you go by current standards, the executive branch can just do that whenever they feel like it.
correct.
These
I mean,
days.
would it be any other way? Should it be any other way?
You know, who am I to say, right?
Exactly. So to define and punish piracies and felonies of the high seas and offenses against the law of nations, and we talked about the law of nations, which is not a it's not a clear cut thing. It's sort of something that's almost kind of made up to an extent. Nobody really there's no enforcement or any type of thing that like is in place that this is a specific thing. It just says you essentially a sovereign nation is a sovereign nation, and obviously we've been adhering to that totally over the past few months. Um,
Well, I
so
mean, really, the past,
yeah,
75 to 80 years,
well,
you know,
I
since
mean, come on. There's a little bit of a difference
basically since
between
World War II, we've been,
I mean, come on, but infiltrating, without a major military force, with only a small one, and doing surgical strikes is obviously not the same as going in and kidnapping people. I mean, that's
yeah,
come on.
and it doesn't set a horrible precedent for how the rest of the world is going to view things.
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing is once you start doing something like that, then it just becomes a matter of, okay, well, stop me if you can,
Yeah,
and that's the unfortunate part with laws. Well, like we create this constitution, and we've talked about this before. Laws are only as good as they can be enforced. Like a law is only that piece of paper with that writing on it doesn't mean crap if you can't enforce it in some way, shape, or form.
yeah, yeah. If there's not law and order behind it, agreed.
So, um, our next line was to declare war, grant letters of marque and reprisal, and make rules concerning chapters on land and water. I don't. I'm trying to understand what that even means.
No appropriation of money. Mm. Huh. What are letters
Kind of
of marque?
interesting to let's uh, let's just do a little thing here. All right. So powers granted to the Congress to declare due to key aspects declare war. Yep. The formal declaration of war is reserved for Congress, not the president. Letters of marque and reprisal. These are government licenses allowing private individuals to arm ships and capture enemy vessels and cargo for profit.
Yeah, privateers. I
Yeah,
remember that.
that's your privateers acting as cost-effective way to supplement naval power. Concerning captures, sets the rules for how property and people captured during war are treated, educated, and distributed. Yeah,
Man, that
and
kind of
and
makes
I
me want to
rem-
be a
and this
or a
was a big
privateer.
do what?
I said now I kind of want to be a privateer.
Yeah, you just get Congress
Yeah,
to issue you a letter, you know,
just sail around,
right?
you know, uh, capture people's ships, make them walk the plank,
I
all that
mean,
fun.
there should be a lot of planks.
Yeah,
Uh, so I understand the marque and reprisal because the like they didn't have a we didn't have a military when we started. Like when this
yeah.
country was founded, they had to rely on
Or much to
privateers.
say of a navy.
Yeah. Um, and then the constitutional balance of power, legislative branch controls the initiation of abduction and war. So you don't have one person that can go and say, "Hey, we're going to go attack this country. We're going to go do this." You actually have to have consensus from the people. Imagine that. Um, So, just like we normally do, we're going to go check the three different constitutions: the conservative, the libertarian, and progressive. And this is what I found interesting in the conservative constitution. So we have the define and defellas, piracies, and all of that stuff up here. But they added other acts of violence by non-state actors into the one before. But this one, the war, is interesting. Upon request from the president,
Mm. Yeah, I I don't I don't like that just on its face.
the president
Um,
has to request.
yeah, because then you have one person that and then if Congress can't vote on it until the president requests, you have one person as a gatekeeper for war.
So, so what you're saying is we could be invaded and people could take our land, and if the
Yeah,
president's like, oh no no, it's fine, it's okay, let them have it.
yeah. No, no, they're cool. Don't
They're
don't
cool.
worry.
It's
Like,
good. It's good. We didn't want Alaska anyways.
yeah, they're solid and they're cool. Yeah,
Yeah, we gave them Alaska. We got Greenland. It's fine.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't.
But
I definitely don't like that piece in there.
but
Um,
then again, at the end of the day, the DOD is under the executive branch, and so I mean, the president being at the top of the chain of command. So I mean, he in that situation, even if Congress did declare war, he could effectively tell the DOD, well, don't do anything about it.
okay,
And
all right, I hear you,
but I
but
like I'm teasing this out.
no,
I'm not saying that would happen, but you know,
no, and I understand
it's
what you're
effectively
saying.
kind of the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is where the three branches. This is the interesting part, the way the three branches are supposed to work. The executive branch is meant to execute the orders of Congress.
Mm, yeah. And so yeah, if they
Con-
declare yeah, if Congress
the
declares war
the
and then the
people,
president doesn't do anything about it, then he should be impeached.
because Congress is the
Yeah. No, I agree.
Congress is the
Agree.
voice of the people. Congress should hold ultimate power over everything. But
Yeah.
the way that they
Agree.
have it split, the judicial says, "Hey, what you've done or what you whatever is not constitutional. It doesn't fall within the powers that you have to be able to do this." And then because everything originates from Congress. There wasn't a president to start. We created the Congress.
Yeah.
Congress created this essentially position in when they originally wrote the Constitution. It was
Yeah.
it was meant to be, hey, you need to have a like you're talking chain of command. You're eventually going to have a person up at the top, right?
Unfortunately, yeah.
But over top of that person, you need to have the people. The people are the ultimate,
Yeah.
should be the ultimate, hey, this is what we're doing. That is what the Constitution. It's in the very first line. It's in the very first freaking line.
Yeah.
We the people. It isn't we the president.
Mm,
We this person. No, 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 no. We the people. So from that perspective, that is why Congress has all of these powers and not the executive branch. That's why it's called the executive branch, because it executes orders.
yeah.
It is supposed to execute the orders that are defined by Congress. That's the point.
Yeah.
That way you don't have all the power in one place. I'm sorry, not one place, because all the power should be in one place, and that is Congress. Congress should be what has the power, because Congress is supposed to be
Represents the
the
people.
representation of the people.
Yeah, agreed. Um the lost my thought. Um
All
Yeah,
right,
and
we'll wait.
I like it makes sense from an execution standpoint that you have that chain of command, that you have one person in charge. But yes, they should be following the laws that are passed by the
The people
representative portion of the government. I
of the
agree.
population. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
and not going outside of that and, hiring thousands of ICE agents and, like,
Well, I mean, talk about current events.
yeah,
I mean,
I had to
this
pass
is the
through there.
reason.
Sorry.
This is the reason why we're doing this is because we've had 250 years of
Dope creep.
slow creep of, hey, well, why don't we just give this power over because we don't want to have to deal with it? I mean, that's what
Yeah.
Congress has done.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
we don't want to
Absolutely.
have to rule on all of this stuff, so we'll just let the president have. We'll just create this cabinet under the president, and then they can have broad authority to do whatever they want. I mean, that
Yeah.
was, with 9/11, creation of the Department of Homeland Security, the amount of power that was given that department is insane.
Well,
So,
and I mean and when they passed the Patriot Act, we all cheered, you know?
yep,
Like I
because it
like
made it better
I
for
did.
us.
Yeah. And I yeah, it's wild to me. Like, and what when you scare people, like, and you use fear as a motivator, it's amazing what you can take away from people.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
And they'll thank you for it.
correct. Yep, all that freedom. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little crass here, um, but I saw a meme, and it has the human guy. I don't know if you've seen the meme of the human, like the Chad, like with the hair and the cut chin or whatever,
Mhm.
and he goes, he says it's four panels. It says you are not free, and then it shows a monkey, and it says you are not free, and then the guy, the human goes, but you're in a cage. And then the monkey, in parentheses, says, starts masturbating furiously.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty free. Like,
I mean, but I mean, but you go to the zoo, you're looking, and you see, oh man, these poor things, they're trapped in these cages. They're not free.
yeah,
They can't do what they want to do.
yeah,
One's flinging poop at you, and the other one's sitting there.
yeah.
Who's
Jacking it.
free? Who's not free? You tell me. Who's
Yeah.
who's got the freedom here?
It's all about perspective, man.
I, and then you got two other monkeys in the back doing it, like just getting it on,
Yeah.
like yeah. Who's free? Who's
Right.
free? Who's got the freedom? No, it's just, but it's funny the perspective. Like, oh, you're locked in a cage. It's like, who's in the cage? Who
Mhm.
can't do things?
Yeah.
But so I don't know where that how that correlates to this, but anyways, it was funny. Um,
I
so
like it.
we're talking about this when you're talking about the freedom of the people to be able to do things and the laws that we're going to bring it full circle here, and the laws
Yeah.
that control those people, if they can't be enforced, like you're seeing a lot of things that are happening now that should be investigated, should be looked at, should be, should go through a trial that you would see any other time, when somebody does something like this,
Yeah.
unless they're a law enforcement personnel,
Well,
um,
I
that they would go through the investigation or whatever, and then they would be, tried, and by what is it, a panel of your peers, I believe.
yeah, a a
You would
jury,
think that that
if
would
you
be
will.
happening, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, it almost right now it almost feels like there's a group of people that are just like, well, try and stop me.
yeah.
You know,
Well,
um, what are you gonna do about it? Basically, you know,
so and
that's how it feels to me.
correct. No, it 100% is that way. Because there's an instigation going on, because what a lot of people are trying to do is they want to get to November, and there's other people that don't want us to get to November.
Yeah.
They don't want the people to be able to vote because they're scared of what's going to happen if the people get the ability to vote. So in order to do that, you have to create an environment to where people don't have the ability to vote. And you have one side that is trying to do everything that they can to provoke an instance to where people don't get the ability to do that. And you have another side that's saying, okay, we understand that this is happening, but you can't give in to what they want. Because if we give in to what they want, it's not going to be good for anybody. And it's going to get bad because people once people start fighting back in the way that they're being oppressed, then you have massive things going on, right? You know,
Well,
when
I mean, you've already got states that are passing laws to circumvent federal law,
mm-hmm.
and you know, you have city, county, and state officials that are forcibly pushing back on federal agencies.
Yeah,
I mean, and what like once you have that, I mean, we're like, and it keeps going and it keeps escalating. We're headed to a bad place, man. Like,
yeah,
and
and that's the. I know there's been calls for Minnesota to pull the National Guard, and I question what that looks like because pull the National Guard to do what? What exactly are they going to do? Are they going to create a perimeter around ICE so that ICE can't get people, or are they going to create that perimeter to keep people away from ICE?
well, yeah, dude, and that's a tinderbox,
Exactly,
regardless, you know,
exactly.
because
And I
because
think that
some,
certain people in power know this.
yeah, yeah, because somebody inside of that is going to do something, and people are going to get hurt, and people are probably going to die if
Oh,
if you
lots of people.
if you yeah, if you do that. Um,
And
and I
then
don't
this is what the fear of the Insurrection Act, and then implementing that, which then means no elections.
right, martial law, all that
Yep.
fun stuff.
Which then it's going to be you're gonna have a situation in that like you have in the movie.
Yeah. The I think it was called it was with Denzel Washington and Bruce Willis. It was called The Siege. I man, I gotta go back and watch that movie.
Oh no, I'm talking
Um,
about the more recent one called Civil
which
War.
one? Hmm,
Have you seen that one?
no.
Oh yeah, there's a new one, and it's quite interesting. But it's called America Civil War or something like that, and it's interesting. It follows reporters around. I think it's Kirsten Dunst is in it, and
Okay,
Ron Swanson plays the president.
I could
You
see that.
should uh,
Yeah,
you
Nick
should definitely
Offerman.
watch it. You should definitely watch it.
All right, I'll have to check
Anyways,
it out.
back to what we're talking about here. So
All
the
right.
conservative constitution adds, upon request from the president, to declare war, to declare or authorize war, authorize military measures short of war, to grant letters of marque, to make rules concerning captures, and to rescind any declaration of or authorization for war by 3/5 vote of both houses of Congress. Oh, man, that's okay.
Hmm. Well,
So they're
I
saying the
don't like.
only way to end a war is with 3/5 of the vote by both houses.
Is it
Is
three
it?
fifths? Is it 3/5 to get in to the war as well?
I I think it
That's
just
not
needs
mentioned.
to pass.
I mean, because if you set that bar to get out, I feel like you should have to set that bar to get in.
It doesn't say anything about getting in, just the fact that the president has to request it. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Do they explain why they wrote it this way?
Um,
I'm curious.
let's see. Impeachment, citizens, yep, voting. I think did I go too far back? Okay, yeah.
Excuse me.
Presidential selection, Supreme Court selection, supermajority, lead role in appropriation and legislating. Um,
Mm,
I'm trying to speed read here, but
yeah.
that's section 12, section 6.
Oh, so they're bouncing around.
Toot, toot,
There's
toot.
Section 8.
Yeah, this is the legislation. I don't see. So, and this is the one with the three, a negative on national laws. This is where the vote of 3/5 of the states or governors can
Yeah.
nullify a national law. 910. So here it is. Other congressional powers. Hold on. Where's the war? Regulate relations. Da da da. Commerce power. Here's the war. The revisions to the war powers in as well as Article 2, Section 3 are designed to restore the primacy of Congress with respect to use of military force while retaining executive flexibility to deal with genuine threats. That doesn't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I don't like that that the president has to request that because you're basically saying, well, Congress's hands are tied until the
yeah,
president.
Congress, yeah, can't do anything. Um, yeah, I don't know that I mean, in all honesty, in my opinion, Congress shouldn't need permission from anybody to do anything if Congress wants to do it because they are the will of the people. My
Yeah,
opinion.
agreed. Yeah, there
Like,
shouldn't be anything limiting that.
yeah, there shouldn't be anything limiting their capability to do to create any type of legislation or thing because they are the will of the people supposedly.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see what the libertarian was. Libertarian to declare war, authorize military action in the absence of an invasion of the United States or its territorial possessions or an attack upon its citizens residing therein. Oh, oh, okay, I'm a little confused. To declare war or authorize military action in the absence of an invasion of the United States or its territorial possessions.
So if we get invaded, are they basically saying it's implied that we're at war?
I'm guessing like, or if maybe it's a part if we get invaded, then the president has the ability to do it. I don't know. Or attack upon its citizens residing therein. Like that's an interesting. They actually do a better job of laying things out here. I love the way that they did all of their changes and they listed them all out.
Yeah.
Um, whereas we expanded it to specify that only Congress may authorize military action in the absence of an invasion or. I don't.
Yeah. I like I said, I don't
I'm
like it.
I'm guessing if we have an invasion, it's hey, we're at war with these people because they invaded us. I don't. Huh. Okay. I'm guessing that we'll see more of that in the executive branch section, maybe.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Um, oh, this is nice. You got a section here. Call it the Schwarzenegger clause. They changed it to
Ah,
where the president has the ability to. They don't have to be a natural born citizen to be a citizen and a resident for 15 years.
yeah, I like that.
I mean, if you get some pushback on that, I would imagine.
Yeah, because then it's like, well, what if somebody embeds a long term, operative or
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, because only people that weren't born here are capable of being an operative for
right,
a different country.
right.
Sorry.
Money can buy you a lot of things. Money and power can. That's true.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Some
Okay, what's the
sometimes,
progressive one?
sometimes people's loyalty, you know.
Hey, green stuff makes a lot of people loyal. Hey, what do you know? To declare war, grant letters of McKeon and rules and captures on land and water. It's like the progressives don't want to change anything in the Constitution. It's like they're like, hey, hey, it's good the way it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
They
we
didn't
like it.
they didn't change a thing. They left it there. So I mean, using what the conservatives come up with, which I find really funny that they're trying to put constraints on Congress of what Congress can do. The conservative,
Hmm.
it's really interesting to me. I mean, they want less government, I guess. So less government means more power to a person, one person.
Yeah,
I
I
don't I don't understand that. Libertarian being more so of a hey, you know, don't don't tread on
don't
me, I
tread
won't
on
tread on
me.
you. Essentially, libertarian, right? Um, in the absence of an invasion. So and I don't understand. Like they have a part down here to provide for calling for the militia to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions, which would be declaring war. I'm guessing they think that if we get invaded, we're automatically going to go to war. I think that is, I guess that's an assumption. I don't,
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, if we wanted to do anything to it, I would say that you could put in some sort of, because all of this stuff, unless you're going to do something that's, right now, I believe the basic is if you get more than half, if you have a majority, simple
yeah,
majority, you have more than half
yeah.
of whatever, then something
Declare
passes. So, and that's what I don't understand about the conservative ones, the way that you can get in with one more than half, but to get out, you have to have 3/5. I don't understand that.
Uh, I mean, the only thing I'm thinking in my head is like, okay, you get into war, and war is in my head it's a depleting process, and people get tired of war, and
Some
I
people,
mean especially
not the
yeah,
not the people that are profiting off of it.
sure, um, and maybe that's part of the 3/5 too. That's a reason for it is that you have it is so that we can stay at war and people can keep profiting off of death. Um, um, yeah, I don't. The idea that there has to be a higher bar to get out
To get
is
in.
it's
Yeah,
interesting to me. Um,
very.
why? Other than I'm thinking like you know people lose their taste for it, and then if they push on their representatives um to get out of it, like even though there's a reasonable reason to be at war, I guess I could maybe see an argument for it as far as staying in if it uh I don't know if the morality lines up, I guess. But I yeah, it's uh it's a that one's a no go for me. Like
Yeah,
the more I
I don't
think
get
about
it.
it. I mean, if I, twist myself into if I my brain into a mental pretzel, I can kind of find an argument for it, but it's not good enough.
Yeah, I don't under it. It doesn't make sense, and maybe there's something that I'm missing. Maybe there's something that we don't see that of what they were trying to do. And this is so the president has to request a declaration of war in order to do that, but they can authorize military measures short of war
Right.
um, to rescind any declaration or authorization of war by three-fifths vote of both houses of Congress. I don't get that at all. Like, if you're talking about a simple majority to get in and you're going to make it harder to get out, if anything, I would say three-fifths to get in and and simple majority to get out.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
Yeah.
I
I
would
was
think.
I could get behind that more than yeah, because the idea of going to war, it's not a it's a it should be a big deal, and it should be something that's thought about and should be
Exactly.
carefully considered. Whereas
Um,
getting out,
and we'll have to look at other things that have been done because I know that the president, being the commander in chief, has the ability to use the military under certain circumstances. But
like to go in and kidnap presidents of other countries.
that's my question. Is like, okay, well, if Congress has to declare war, what is the bar of, hey, in order to do anything, against another nation, it has to go through Congress. The people have to do it, or are you just going to give lateral capability to one person to be able to go do whatever they want to whatever other country?
Yeah.
I mean, and I get that because
Yeah.
then you're involved in the CIA and all of that because the president has the quote unquote authority to direct CIA, FBI, and those types of things. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as most intelligence goes, like at least from my experience in the Air Force, um, and I like my last duty station, I was in an intelligence squadron, and it the chain of command funnels up through the NSA,
Yeah,
um, and so
I knew
which
there was another
which is
agency that I forgot.
yeah,
NSA.
which is I mean they don't get talked about much, but they're at least as powerful as the CIA
Yeah,
and all those and all those three-letter agencies they work together for the most part and
yeah.
as far as
Might not share
what they're
all
doing, they're
information, but
aligned.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you have the Central Intelligence Agency, the National Security Agency,
agency.
right,
Yeah,
and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Yeah. Um,
and then
and
I mean pretty much all special operations is under
NSA.
the NSA as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting.
It is,
Um, is there,
especially when you look at the um I'd have to go back and look at it. I don't know if they're still doing this, but the director of the NSA is usually like a high level military member, usually like a 1 or 2 star general,
yeah.
and normal command uh, over any area doesn't matter whether you're a wing or a group or whatever. It's 2 years. Like you
Yeah.
like, and then they move the officers around. They don't they don't do that with the director of the NSA. I think when I was there, I think it was General Alexander, and he was there for like 5, maybe even more than 5 years. And I always found that very interesting to give somebody that much power.
That long.
Um, Yeah.
Well, and actually, it's funny that you bring up the whole 2 year thing because that actually comes up in our next section here. To raise and support armies, but no appropriation of money to that use shall be for longer term than 2 years. So I'm guessing that that may be part of that 2 year thing, to where the monies change every 2 years. So I mean that could be a reason for that.
Yeah.
Um, that's interesting. But I'm wondering what. I mean, I get it because you don't want you get somebody in one place for too long. It stagnates, right? You know, they kind of keep it. You know, you don't have any change. Usually you're not getting better. Usually you're kind of staying whatever you're doing. So that change is
Well,
kind of good. But
well, and well, when you look at it from the perspective of intelligence too, like where
yeah.
the what that person has access to, that the information that they have access to, dude, they got dirt on everybody, man.
Oh,
Like, uh,
well, that's why you got to change them
and
out.
yeah.
You got to
But
give
then when
more
you go to
people
change them
access
out
to
and
all
be
that.
like, and then they're like, hey, you can switch me out, but I'm gonna release all this information I got on you.
Yeah.
If you
I don't know. Do we have anything else for the declare war? We got requirements for simple majority to declare war or simple majority to get out. I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think we need to add anything about the Congress needing special permission to declare war. The libertarian one was, I don't understand. You can only declare war if we're not invaded. I don't get that.
yeah, that don't make a whole
Um,
lot of sense to me either.
and again, we have this conversation back and forth all the time about the more the more guardrails you put on, is it better or worse? Like the more you define those types of things.
Yeah, yeah. We keep going back to the idea: do you keep it vague and opaque and hope people are gonna
Yeah,
um, act accordingly and act morally, or do you put more guardrails around it?
yeah.
And
The only thing that I could think of is there would be something you would want to put something there about what powers or what can be done without declaring war. Like what type
yeah,
of
I think
foreign involvement can be had without a declaration of war.
and I think you're right about that one. Like that makes sense to me because the the military and the DoD has been abused in that way where it's like where you go into we get into these skirmishes or these incursions or whatever, and then you're
Yeah,
like, oh well, it's not war,
correct.
but it's like, but you're over there killing people.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
so
but it's not war.
right.
We're
um,
just carpet bombing a
so
place.
yeah,
We're just killing a few hundred people. It's
yeah.
not war.
And
We
what's
don't
what's the number? How many
we
how
don't
many you
have
got
any
to
troops
kill
on the
before it's
ground.
war?
We don't have any
Yeah,
troops on the ground. We're
yeah,
up in space,
right. Yeah, yeah. We're just
airspace.
dropping bombs on hundreds of thousands of people, and
Yeah,
uh,
we're
you know,
we're in the
flying
water.
around in helicopters, gunning people down.
Yeah,
It's no
yeah.
big deal.
We don't actually
Yeah,
invade their sovereign soil. Like no, we
yeah,
do it from the water. We do it from the air. It's fine. It's not war.
yeah.
It's
Exactly.
it's what
But
what do they call it? Special exercise or special operation? You said.
yeah, special. Yeah, special exercise. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of fun names
It's a
uh,
training exercise.
for
We see how
they,
many
they
people we can
they
kill.
should just call it not war, like that. This is not war.
What are you guys doing? Not war.
Yeah,
Really? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Murder.
Not war. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, because yeah, if it's not war, then like, what else you want? What else are you gonna call it? Like,
we're defending ourselves over there,
yeah,
over there,
yeah.
over where?
Got a
There.
thousand. thousands of miles away from our sovereign soil. We're
Have you
defending ourselves.
you have you seen the video about the front fell off with the boat? It was
Mm-mm.
an Australian. It was an Australian thing where they had a, I think it was an oil tanker or something, and the front fell off, and it spilled like hundreds of thousands, millions of gallons of oil in the ocean, right? And a one of the comedians, a political comedian, went on and did an interview about, how the front fell off of the boat. A big wave came and the front fell off, and that's, but it's fine because they towed it outside of the environment.
Outside of the environment.
Outside of the environment. It's not in the environment anymore. It's outside of the environment, so it's fine. They
I
got
see.
it outside of the environment, and that's kind of what we're doing here. Is we're outside of the environment. We're
Yeah.
doing that stuff. It's not here. It's there. It's out there,
Yeah.
and that doesn't matter. Outside of the environment doesn't matter. We'll just
Exactly.
have fun out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can
It's
do
it's
whatever
gonna
we
be
want
fun.
outside.
Yeah.
In space. Anyways,
Space.
okay, moving on to the
Yeah.
next
So
one.
I think there should be guardrails like and s- some more explicit language when it comes to military action and for from yeah, but I may maybe that goes in the maybe that goes in section 2. Is section 2 the executive branch? Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, or not section, article 2.
Yeah. Explicit language towards military action. Like, what type of explicit language are we talking?
I
Four
am
letter words? We
yeah,
talking
you
sexual? We talking
I like my four-letter words. So
okay.
don't tease me.
Anyways, so to raise and support armies. This is the next one. To raise and support armies, but no appropriation of money to that use shall be for a longer term than 2 years.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Um,
So you're saying you can only have a budget for the
you
military for 2 years, and then you have to re you have to you have to
evaluate.
you have to re up.
Yeah, reread.
Yep. You gotta re up. You gotta click the button. Do you wish to continue watching the show? You know on
Yeah,
like they do
or
on Netflix.
the Staples easy button. You got to press that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every 2 years we have to do that. Um, I mean, I get it. The government has the ability to create a
Well, yeah.
military 2 year budget.
I don't think the military should be funded endlessly without any sort of oversight.
Correct.
Um,
I agree.
and
Do you,
I mean it's a way to reel them back in.
do you have any thoughts on this before we go to the other constitutions to see what their thoughts, what they to raise and
No, not
support
right.
armies? Like, do we want to? Okay, and I think this kind of goes with the next one. Okay, so to raise and support armies, I would see that if we're talking 250 years ago, that's physical people. That's military boots on ground, like
Yeah.
armies, like almost like a militia, right? But
Yeah, so I guess we'd have to put it. Maybe we'll put in
armies.
some language about an air force.
Well, that's what
That's
I'm because if you look at the next one, to
and then
provide and
space
maintain a
force.
navy. Well, to provide and maintain a navy doesn't say
Yeah.
anything about length of budget. Doesn't say anything about. It's just to
Mm.
provide and maintain a navy, because back then, navy was what ruled the world. If, like the British Navy is why they were so powerful.
Yeah.
So you have one here to raise and support armies, but appropriation no longer than 2 years. And then you have to provide and maintain a navy, and then to make rules for the government and regulation of the land and naval forces.
Hmm. Where are you going with this? Huh.
Well, I'm just trying to understand the the land forces, the armies,
Yeah,
has a 2-year term.
but the Navy doesn't.
The Navy, quote unquote, doesn't. And you make rules for the land and naval forces. Like here, they explicitly split them out, right? So
Yeah,
you would think this is split out. You would think that those are split. You have the
yeah,
armies, the land, and you have the navy, which is the water. You would think.
yeah.
Um, and
So what's
then,
tripping you up? I guess is
well, the navy can have a budget for whatever,
yeah. Okay.
forever, how
Yeah.
long?
So we're on the
For,
same page.
yeah, but so these, I think that these three can be combined.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
and it
think
should be
that
the same language for all of them.
I,
And
I
then
think yeah.
and then I think you have to add in something for Air Force because that didn't exist when um, Air
Whoops.
Forces and
Yeah,
maybe
Space
Space
Force,
Force. Yeah.
um, cyber didn't exist back then.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that didn't exist.
Well, and it is interesting too. Like I started thinking about it. There's nothing in there about intelligence agencies and how they're governed. Um, so I'm wondering if there should be something in there about that because I like yeah, technically they're not military, but I mean they're in support of you know military action and national defense.
2 years good on the appropriation.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that intelligence agencies budgets should have to re up too.
Okay. And I know that so this is for international, right? Like those three
Yeah.
are for outside the US. And then you have the next one, which is to provide for calling forth the militia to execute laws of the union, suppress insurrection, or repel evasions. This is internal. The militia is, you had armies which go out, navy protects water. Then you have the militia, which is inside, which would be like your National Guard or your Coast Guard. Your Coast Guard,
Yeah.
National Guard would be your militia. Your Army, Navy, Air Force, what do we got? The Space Force now, and whatever that
Space
would be
Force.
under. That would be under the external. So to provide for calling forth the militia, so the Congress can call forth the militia, and to provide for organizing, arming, disciplining the militia, and for governing such part of them that may be employed in the service of the United States, reserving to the states respectively the appointment of the officers and the authority of training the militia according to the discipline prescribed by Congress. Congress can call forth the National Guard from the states to do things for defense of insurrections and invasions. Congress has the ability to do that. But it leaves it to the states, appointment of officers, training, according to what the Congress says. So that's your National Guard. Your
Yeah.
National Guard, your Coast Guard, both of those,
Yep.
that is what these two, that's what those two are.
Excuse me.
You all right over there?
I'm gonna be okay. I don't know if I am right this second.
Okay. So for the three that we have combined to raise and support armies, provide the Navy, and make rules for regulation of them, combine them, list all agencies, possibly intelligence, appropriation for 2 years, any other thing.
Nothing's popping into my head right now. I'm sure we're missing something.
I wonder. I wonder if you have it explicitly listed in here. It doesn't say what these military forces will be used for,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
It
Just
does not say anything about what they can be used
put
for.
just put kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, right? The militia suppress insurrections and repel invasions. It specifically says what they can be brought forth for.
Yeah.
So, do you put something in here about what the military can be used for? If you have the National Guard to suppress insurrections and repel invasions, does the military does it deserve to put limits on what they can be used for? I mean,
That's a good that's a
we're
good question.
going. This is something that is actively happening within the United States right now of
Well,
what the
yeah, and it
military
has,
can be used for.
like I said, the DOD and the the power that the executive branch has over the DOD has been uh, has been abused for like
A while. Did you say a while?
yeah, yeah. Um, so putting I think it makes sense to put some constraints around it. I just I like the in my head um the part that feels like I can't wrap my brain around it is like I don't know what language to use.
Yeah.
Or or how to put that where you could put reasonable constraints around that and still leave enough power for the for the executive branch to operate uh, as as needed for military and intelligence actions.
Well, and my other concern of this is okay. So you have the National Guard to suppress insurrections and repel invasions. It doesn't say what the other military can be used for, but if you put any type of constraints on there to where it can't be used on our soil, so what? If we get invaded, we can't
Right.
we can't use the military to they can't be deployed on our soil. It has to be deployed in international or foreign soil.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're talking about like the what is it? The only time that we've ever been quote unquote invaded from a perspective of modern times would be Pearl Harbor, right?
Right.
And we weren't
And
invaded.
before
They
that, it was the War of 1812.
of 1812 exactly. Um, which I don't. We had a quote unquote militia military at that time. It wasn't great. I mean, we literally just got this done in 1812 was what 20 years after we got this, 10 years, 15 years after we got
Yeah.
this. So I
20,
mean, you really didn't
23.
have time to build up a military from that perspective. You know, by the
Yeah.
time 1942 rolled around, we had a sizable chunk of machinery. We'll just say
Well,
that.
and we had a military industrial complex that
Yeah.
uh,
So
churning shit
the
out.
question would be, can you deploy? Should you be allowed to deploy the military? And I think you could even make Congress has the ability to call forth the militia to suppress insurrections and repel invasions. Congress has the ability to call forth the National Guard to do those things. Congress. It
Mhm.
doesn't say anything. It just says Congress has the ability to declare war and make rules. It doesn't say what that they have the ability to call forth the military for any reason. So I'm wondering if you put something in there to where the armed forces, the military, um, I don't. Okay, I'm going to say something here, and it's probably going to
Let's get weird.
rustle some jimmies. Um,
Yeah.
would you consider the National Guard and the Coast Guard to be the military?
Um. Well, if based on my current understanding, I believe the Coast Guard. is under the is no longer under the DoD, and they're under the DHS. I believe that's been moved.
Okay.
Um, I like, yeah, Coast Guard. Um, personally, I wouldn't think, or the national, um, the National Guard. I'm I mean, I agree with the idea of being able to augment military forces through and call up the National Guard federally.
Yeah.
Um, but
Which would you have
that
National Guard in all 50 states, if I'm not
right,
mistaken? Almost all 50
yeah,
states have a National Guard, which, and
correct,
correct me again if I'm wrong, most National Guard, I shouldn't say most, a, ma- a lot of National Guard members are former military members.
yes,
Most of the time, if you
they're former
retire,
active duty.
former active duty military, most of them go into the National Guard because of whatever reason. And hey,
Yeah,
we're gonna need to take a 5 minute break real quick. I gotta go use the restroom, and I don't know if you want to sit here and go over this a little bit more, but I need to take a quick
I'm
five
gonna
minute.
grab some more water, but then yeah, I can fill some space as soon as I come back.
Okay, yeah, I won't be long. We'll play a little music real quick. Just 5 minutes. We'll be right back. Yeah, no, Josh isn't back yet. Oh, there he is. Perfect timing. Perfect. Yeah, wasn't going to be long. I just felt like I was going to burst. I've been drinking a lot more water lately, and well, it's,
Mhm.
it can be trying at times. So okay,
Well, yeah, having to pee every 30 minutes sucks.
yeah, it's terrible. But I'm also drinking. I want to say like 5 or 6 liters of water a day, almost.
I try to do around 96 ounces to 96 to 128, depending upon
Oh,
how much I'm working out.
I don't have them American units. 16.9 fluid ounces, And if I'm, this is 500 milliliters. So two of these is a liter. So I drink, I want to say about anywhere between 6 to 8 a day. So what's that? 3 to 4 liters at least,
Yeah.
among other things.
Yeah. And then
I should probably keep better track of.
so yeah, you're right in the same range as me
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. Sometimes I drink more, sometimes I forget. Like you get in the middle of doing something and you forget and you're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I got to drink something." For some reason I'm getting snacky. Okay, let me go drink some water. Is that a
I
protein
do
shake?
like Hmm?
Is that a protein shake?
Yes.
What kind?
The Fairlife ones.
A Fairlife? Yeah. Hey, no free advertisement here. Yeah, no, they're not bad. My son likes the Shamrock Farms one. I don't think it's as widely done, but I've actually
I've had those before. The reason I like these is because it's 30 grams of protein for 150 calories, which
oh,
is
nice.
I haven't found another shake that's has a better protein to calorie ratio.
Well, I'm going to challenge that. So, at one of a store that I go to named Costco,
Like
they
you got no
have
free
these.
advertising.
Have you seen these?
Mm-mm.
They're called Nuris, Nurri, and they are 30 grams,
Mm-hmm.
150 calories.
So same.
Yeah. Um,
I have to look around for them. You like them?
they're actually not bad. They're decently chocolatey. They come in vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry,
I
and they were
always just
just
go
on
for
sale. Do what?
I always go for chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate is usually one of the better ones. Um, but it's an ultra filtered milk chocolate milkshake.
Hmm.
Yeah,
What do you suppose an ultra filter actually looks like? You know, I like to see that.
it's ultra filtered skim milk, water,
Mm.
cream, cocoa, potassium, sea salt, and then all of your stuff. What
Mm.
is it? Lactase enzyme, pectin. It does have sucralose and asoflame potassium in it, and monk fruit. So
Yeah. Well, monk fruit, the monk fruit juice, I think, is where they get the sweetness from.
yeah, this has one total sugar, zero added sugar, with 3 carbs. How many carbs do you have in yours?
Uh,
Sorry, everybody.
4 grams of carbs.
4 grams. Yeah, this one's got
Um,
three. One dietary fiber, one total sugar, and then I'm guessing that those are both like 1.5 or something because. But yeah,
it says
no,
it has
it's
0 grams of added sugars.
yeah, yeah. That's the sucralose in the monk fruit.
Yeah.
Yep, lactose free. Yeah, yeah. They're not bad. They taste pretty good. The strawberry one tastes. I don't know. Have you ever had the Nesquik strawberry?
Strawberry milk. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Tastes
like
like
the
that.
straw. It tastes pretty much exactly like that. And I mean these are kind of the same way. It's very. It's like a very light chocolate shake. But anyways,
Okay.
yeah. So they were on sale. I think they're on. I don't know if you have Costco membership, but they were on
I
sale.
do. I do indeed.
They were. I think they're on
I'll
sale
look around
until
for 'em.
tomorrow. I think. Anyways, so back to the military. Take a nice little segue from our protein shake there. Um, so we have two
Do we
different.
want
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do we want to start looking at the other concept, the progressive, conservative?
Oh, hey, yeah, we haven't done that yet. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what the conservative has. To raise and support military forces and to make rules for their government and regulation. Okay. So They did combine it. Raise and support military forces. Provided that laws compelling military service shall expire at the end of a 2 year period, and any extension shall require passage of a new law, and no person religiously scrupulous shall be compelled to bear arms in combat.
They, they already have that. Like I don't understand why they would want to entomb that in the
Well,
Constitution.
it would be selective service. So if we got to a point where we did selective service, somebody could say, "Hey, because of my religion, I can't fight."
Yeah, like if they reinstituted the draft.
Correct. If it that is the part here, compelled. No person
Yeah.
shall be compelled to bear arms in combat. So instead of, like, I don't know, I got bone spurs, you can say, "Oh, my religion doesn't allow me to do this."
Yeah.
Right?
Hmm.
And then you
Yeah.
go into the thing as, well, okay, if somebody says my religion doesn't allow me to bear arms, doesn't allow me to do this, do you just say okay? Or do you do an investigation into, okay, well, what's their religion? What's this? What's that? Because at
Yeah.
that point, can't you just say, hey, if you don't want to do it, don't do it?
Well, that I mean, I'm thinking back to the 40s and draft dodgers. People that or
Yeah.
Vietnam that
But,
ran to Canada and did other stuff. Um,
but if you put something in here that says religiously scrupulous,
yeah.
can you give me
Well,
context? What
right.
what the hell does that
Yeah,
mean?
and yeah, exactly. I mean, and do you, because I mean, because you and do you just come up with your own religion too at that point? Which I don't think that there's anything wrong with that because if spiritually you feel like taking another life does something to you, um, I think I think that's a reasonable thing. But then on the other side of it, people are going to abuse that.
Okay.
Um,
I love the definition
and
of this. I defined it. Go ahead, finish your thought. I did a search for it. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and the because I wonder about the draft. Like if there should even be the idea that there's going to be another draft. I don't on one side of the argument, like I don't think people should be compelled to military service. But then on the other side of it, if we do end up in some sort of situation like that, where we don't have enough people to ex- execute a war, then we got to do something. I,
Find better ways to not have humans involved in the war. You know?
I don't disagree with that state. Well, or just not get into war in the first place and not get there so
No.
easy.
See, no. Look. There's only a few things in this life that
Like,
are
stop it.
okay. So let's religiously scrupulous. Okay, if we take this, describes an intense, often debilitating preoccupation with religious or moral purity, where someone experiences excessive guilt and fear about sinning, leading to compulsive behaviors, rituals, or doubts, often recognized as a form of OCD. So the
Interesting.
conservatives are putting no person with OCD shall be compelled to bear arms in combat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
as long
mean,
as your OCD is towards a faith. So they're given an exemption based on religion, which again, in my opinion, if you're going to do that, are you going to investigate? Is this going to be a thing to where they have like the insurance investigators that go around taking pictures of people taking their trash cans out? Like, oh, hey, you're supposed to be a hurt back and you can't do this stuff. Oh, hey, you're supposed to be religiously scrupulous. Why are you, you know, adultering with your neighbor? You know what I'm?
Yeah, that doesn't trigger your religious OCD, but
Wait a second.
but holding a gun and shooting somebody does.
Yeah, or hey, you're living with someone you're not married to. Oh, you have kids out
Yeah,
of wedlock. Oh, you have what? Like, hey, which religion we want to go with here? Hey, you're eating pork. Obviously, you're not religiously scrupulous, right?
you're.
Obviously,
I would say you're selectively religiously
yeah.
scrupulous.
And that's one of the that's where you get whenever you start putting things like this in it.
Yeah, I
You're I don't
I
think it
would
needs to be
be.
in a constitution.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I would be interested to historically know like how they dealt with this during um where they were drafting people in World War II, and then they drafted people during Vietnam. Um and like how they handled, because there's all sorts of exemptions, and there's all sorts of reasons why people can't serve in the military, like whether it's mental disorders or now
Oh yeah.
mental disorders, or some kind of physical constraint, being colorblind, or blind, deaf, or yeah, all sorts of fun things.
You would think that you would want deaf people because then they couldn't be the sounds wouldn't bother them. I mean,
Yeah,
you couldn't hear somebody sneaking up
then
on you. It'd
everybody's
be
got to
really
learn
easy
sign
to
language to give orders.
do what?
But then everybody has to learn sign language to give orders.
I mean, you already do that, don't you? With the like,
I mean, yeah, like the infantry guys and the
like if
spec
you're
ops
doing
guys. Like
special
I
ops,
never learned that shit. Like
my
when like I like to give you an example, when I would go out on convoy, or like, and I would have a special operations security detail. I was carrying
okay,
around classified information and all this stuff, and there was one or two times where we got into it, and these guys are doing all this stuff, and I'm like, and talking and yelling and like throwing hand signs, and I was like, bro, you just tell me to stay down, like like, or if you want me to shoot something, I'll give
just
it a
point,
shot, but
point. I'll shoot,
yeah,
man. I'll
yeah,
shoot in that general direction.
this is this is not my jam, like
But
like.
okay, you know what the best part about it,
Those
and
guys knew how to fuck shit up, though. I will say that, man. Like, and God bless him for taking care of me. Like, like,
again, me being the horrible person I am, there might be one problem with having a deaf person be in some sort of, like, you would think okay, sign language, so they'd be good, they'd be able to be quiet, but they wouldn't be able to hear if they're making noise.
yeah, they're sitting there screaming at the top of their lungs, ah! like, and they
that
don't even
that
know.
are like going through a kitchen, knocking pans off the thing. They don't know.
He's like, and then they're thinking like, oh, like I'm being so quiet right now.
Quiet. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't have any
That's
idea.
fucking
You got
terrible,
the you
dude.
got the other people in
That
the
is
platoon
awful.
going
We're we're going to hell for this. Like,
terrible, horrible.
straight to hell.
It's bad. Yeah, we should stop and move on. Okay,
Yeah.
so religiously scrupulous.
Oh my god.
So somebody with OCD, we should be able to get out. Yeah, we're definitely not putting that in there. I don't see a reason why. I mean, I get why they put it in there.
Well,
Oh,
it,
man,
it falls under it falls under to raise and support military forces and to make rules for their government and regulations. You
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 don't need to put
make
it in the Constitution.
Yeah, you don't need to enshrine it in the Constitution. I
I
agree.
agree. I agree. Okay. You got the 2 years. So they combine those three. They don't have a navy. They don't have the whatever. They just have raise and support military forces. Very broad. Could mean
Yeah.
anything. And they do. The laws compelling military service shall expire at the end of a 2 year period. The laws compelling military service. So
So that means you can only draft people for 2
2
years.
years. And then you have to do another law to pass. It
Hmm.
has to be 2 year increments. Okay. All right.
I think that's pretty
Limiting
cool.
limiting the ability to draft. Would that Would you want that in
Well,
there?
like I said, I struggle with the draft so much. I don't think that anyone should be compelled to military service. Like the the way we do it now, and it's voluntary, and it works to a certain extent. Now, granted, like you can make an argument, and it is a reasonable argument that lower income people, like you're gonna grab a
Correct.
lot of lower income people, and that there's inequality
Yes, 100%.
within that. Um, but
Because
but
those are the
it
people that need that. So you, but the unfortunate part is it creates a need for those type of
to keep
people,
people down.
which then makes it to where you have to have that.
Yeah,
It makes it to where it benefits
you
the
have
country.
yeah, to have a lower income class,
Correct.
like yeah, so that they will be funneled into that military
Hey, we'll
service.
take care of all your health care that you never had. Hey, you'll get more money than you've ever seen in your entire life. Hey,
Yep.
by the way, you're going to have to shoot people too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
oh yeah, we own you. Boy, that sounds. Hmm.
yeah, and you basically have to raise your right hand and give up a lot of your civil rights.
Oh, you give them pretty much all of them up. Like they pretty much own you, don't they?
There's
You can't
there
leave.
there's some caveats.
You can't leave
Um,
unless
no, you
you,
can't leave.
I
You're
mean,
not you're not free.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
You can't be in the cage masturbating furiously.
Yeah,
That's
and
that's
yeah,
frowned upon.
you don't have freedom of speech. You know,
Yep.
like yeah.
It's so I mean that's hmm. But
Um,
again,
eh, so the idea of having a draft, having it there, if we ever get into a situation where where we're being invaded, or like it's necessary and we don't have enough military members, I see the necessity in it, but I also do not like the idea of compelling military service. I it's um
I would imagine that most military members agree with you. The idea of
it's
forcing people
almost,
into that
yeah,
because
and
the
yeah,
idea that you have to put your trust in the person beside you for your life. Would you rather have somebody that volunteered to do that, or would you rather have somebody that was forced to do that?
yeah. And yeah, you want the volunteer. You want the person that said, "Yeah, hey, I'm willing to do this."
Yeah.
Not the one that's like, they grabbed him off the street, threw a uniform on him, put him in basic training, and yeah,
Said,
like
hey, go
hate
shoot some
and hates
people.
every minute. Yeah,
Saving Private Ryan?
yeah.
Where are
Those,
you from? Oh,
yeah,
I'm a teacher from wherever.
yeah.
Yeah, you get all
Now,
kinds.
I do believe, like, and I think they kind of go through this in the movie, where it back then there was a s- there was a civic duty
Yeah,
that people, you know, they
they
understood
felt.
and they saw the value in it. I
Yeah.
don't know if you instituted a draft today, I don't think that you would get that same kind of
So
response.
so wait a second. Let me just real quick just to touch on what you said. So you're talking the draft that was during what war was it? World War II?
World War II. Yeah.
World War II. That was a draft to fight against
Nazis?
Nazis. Okay, so it was a and people felt a civic duty back then to fight who?
Nazis.
Nazis. Okay, okay. Just wanted to. All right, cool. Anyways, back to let's hit the libertarian. Oh man, it's all just coming out. We're
Yeah.
definitely gonna. Okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so this is the libertarian constitution to provide, raise, maintain, and support armed forces for the national defense. to make rules for the government regulation of the armed forces. So that's
It's
so
quite vague.
they give the reason: armed forces for the national defense.
Yeah. But how many times over the last 40 or 50 years has
Well,
the two words national defense been
that's what I'm saying.
abused?
National defense. I mean, that's why we went into Venezuela, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
For our national defense, because all them drugs.
Yep.
Let's see. But here, this is okay. National defense and make rules and regulate armed forces, but they leave the militia part in there. So to execute laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions. But the armed forces are for the national defense. Huh.
Hmm.
Interesting. So they changed the three. They combined them into these two.
Yeah.
So they got the make rules in government, and then they really like generalize that down. Provide, raise, maintain, support the armed forces for national defense. They don't have anything in there about the time frame, the appropriations, or anything like that. It's a little scary.
Yeah. Agreed.
Um, I don't think that they have anything else. No, they don't have anything else about the military. So that's all that they leave for the military. It's a little scary because at least the original founders were smart in the 2-year term.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, because given a blank check like that, man, that's mm,
Yeah.
is
I
that
mean, hey,
is
why
that
don't we just fund them for the
yeah,
next 40 years, right?
yeah,
Um, okay. And then the Progressive Constitution to declare war, grant letters of marque and reprisal, and make rules concerning. Oh, we already did that one. Whoops. To raise and support military forces. So they do change it from armies to military forces. No appropriation of money to raise and support such military shall be used for longer than 2 years. They leave that in there. And then, of course, they have the next one, which is rules for the government regulation of the military forces. And then I believe, yep, they leave the next two. They leave the next two the same. Provide organizing, disciplining militia, part as they may be employed as reserving the states of appointment, authority of training. Yeah. So they leave the militia the same. So National Guard is the same, but they change it to support military forces. That is, so it's sort of to give them more overall. And that's something we
yeah.
said. Is military forces the right way? Is
Ar- one of them was armed forces,
armed
and
forces?
yeah, I
And then what was this one? Military forces.
I think military forces is um adequate. Other like I said, I would want to encompass intelligence, uh, intelligence in that as well, um, just to get some kind of transparency. Because I mean, and technically, intelligence forces could fall under military forces. I think it, I think it needs to be explicit because like that, man, they it's such a gray area, like the way that those agencies operate, um, and with impunity and with
Oh
very
yeah.
little oversight.
They, I was going to say they essentially have the ability to do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it, to an extent,
Yeah,
for the most part, because it's one person. It's usually one person versus like three or four, up to three or four people that are doing a targeted operation or whatever you want to call it on certain things, and it's usually a long term, if I'm not mistaken. It's not something that's like, okay, go in, take care of this, come back out. it more often than not, it's embedding, it's doing those types of things for a long period of time until you can get the information you need to be able to, or to continue to get the information you need.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have that. I put this here explicit for intelligence forces, military forces, armed forces. Language to constrain the use of military. National defense is it's such a broad
I know.
national
And
defense.
and like I said, if it hadn't been abused over the last 50 to 75 years, I'd be like, yeah, okay, let's use national defense and then hope people act, accordingly. But that's not what that's not what history has
Yeah.
shown us.
I mean, the only thing that I can think of would be no deep on U.S. soil unless
There's an invasion.
no. I don't want to. I don't even want to say unless nation of war. I would say unless.
Yeah.
I mean because okay, so the when you're talking about the military, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. The military is quote unquote designed to, or trained to take objectives.
Hmm.
They're trained to take and defend using lethal force,
Right.
not so much to de-escalate. I mean, I'm guessing that the military is they do learn de-escalation tactics and stuff like that because obviously they have to, but for the most part they are sent to places to live fire. These are live fire missions. This isn't you're not strolling down the street, and you're the only armed people around. This is you're going somewhere doing something in a hostile environment, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, most of the time when you're deployed, like when you're deployed on foreign soil, something like that, it is because you are trying to accomplish an objective of taking and or fighting something.
Yeah. You're accomplishing that goal through the use of force.
The use of deadly force. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even just say force, deadly force. We're talking, usually when the military is deployed, people are going to die.
Yeah.
Okay. When does that need to be deployed on our soil? What are the circumstances that the military is going to be taking objectives need to be deployed on U.S. soil? When would
I
that need to happen?
I would say only in the case of a foreign invasion.
I would agree with that. But if you have a foreign invasion, you probably what? Have declared war on someone, or
Yeah.
or will declare war. Like you, okay, we have the luxury of having an ocean on both sides of us. If you take a look at Ukraine, if Canada started putting tanks and military stuff at the border, or Mexico or whatever started assembling large battalions of military stuff at our borders, I could see a need for us to do the same.
Yeah.
It would be very bad. It would not end well, but
Yeah.
you know, I can
But if
understand.
one side's going to escalate, you gotta show
You
you gotta
gotta
show
you gotta
strength.
do something.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily have that with any country that we're currently have a, okay, I can't even say that, a historical bad relationship.
I don't know, man. Like I
uh,
that
Cuba, okay, Cuba.
depends on your perspective, I think.
Okay,
Like,
Cuba. Okay, we could do Cuba. Cuba was probably the biggest quote unquote threat that we have had in any recent history from a close. I mean, look, Russia's
proximity.
not piling stuff at the Alaskan border. Okay,
Right.
they're not putting long range missiles or what is it, intercontinental ballistic ICBMs. They're not stockpiling them on the Alaskan border. I mean, I think they're
No,
smart
but
enough to know that.
they do fly sorties, like,
Well,
and
yeah.
they break airspace, and like that shit was going on all the time when I was stationed in Alaska.
Oh, you were stationed in Alaska, huh? Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Did did
yeah.
did we ever go up and say, like, wave to them, say hi?
Well, you did that all the time. They were always testing. We were we were always testing each other's response times.
Oh, okay.
So, like, how long before we knew they took off, and then they'd fly in, break our airspace, we'd respond, scramble jets, and um, yeah. But I
Okay.
mean, it was all just games,
Well, yeah.
not like
Okay.
just trying, like, basically just poking at each other.
Yeah. Testing to make sure that
Like,
we're
hey, are
paying
you still
attention.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Making sure people are paying attention.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, the only other time that during the Cold War would be the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? That I can
yeah.
remember. The only other time that there was an actual, like,
Like an
tangible
existential
threat.
threat on our
Yeah.
on our sovereign soil. Yeah.
Yeah. Would be Cuba. I can't think of any other.
Mm-mm.
So we do have that luxury of having the oceans, because Ukraine doesn't have that luxury. Ukraine is, you know, they were quote unquote invaded pretty quickly. Like it happened. Like it wasn't a hey, let's. By the way, 3 weeks from now we're going to take your land. It was, hey, by the way, we're moving. Or I don't even think there was a by the way. It was just, hey, there are tanks rolling through our towns. I don't understand
I think
this.
they started firing off rockets first too, if I
Was it
if I
was it
remember correctly.
rockets? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we don't necessarily, unless Mexico or Canada decides they want to have some fun, which I don't think that they would. There's obviously going to be a lot more de-escalation before that happens, hopefully. Um, so we
Yeah.
have that luxury. So from a perspective of military being deployed on our own soil, the National Guard comes first, obviously. Insurrections, invasions. I mean, that's what it says in the Constitution. The militia
Yep.
suppress insurrections and repel invasions. And then the military, would come after that. But do
Hmm.
we need to have something in there that says deployment on U.S. soil? I mean, I don't know if there's any
Yeah.
laws. Is there any laws or regulations against being deployed on U.S. soil right now?
No. Um. There might be some regulations as to when when it's okay.
All
I'm
right.
not sure.
Okay.
Um. But yeah, I feel like it kind of should be enshrined that way.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same mindset as you.
Like there should be something in there that says what they can, what it can be used for, without the express. Like here's my thought on it. You don't want to give a person or a department the ability to deploy our military that is meant for lethal force to U.S. soil. Period. I wouldn't want anybody to have
Yeah.
that ability unless there was an actual threat against our sovereignty. Like somebody decided to come and, kidnap the president, which, you know,
So you've got the Posse Comitatus Act, which that prevents the Army and the Air Force. from acting as domestic law enforcement.
Okay. When was that?
I don't. It doesn't have a date on it.
How do you spell
Federal
it?
troops can't police Americans, arrest people, run checkpoints, or enforce civilian law unless Congress
Approve.
explicitly authorizes it.
Yeah. What's it called?
Uh, Posse comitatus. I, I don't know why that makes me laugh, but like it's
So POSSE,
mm-hmm.
comma.
Comitatus.
Okay. So essentially, you can't have a bunch of roving military people in posses. I mean, I think that that's what that essentially is, right?
Yeah, there and then there's something. The biggest exception is the Insurrection Act, and then the president can deploy use force to suppress an insurrection, enforce federal law, protect constitutional rights when states won't or can't. I think I'm thinking back
1878
to
is when
the
that was enacted, by the way.
uh,
Just
yeah. Um, I'm thinking back to during the civil rights movement. I think I can't remember which president it was, but I don't can't remember if it was the National Guard or they actually sent the military, like the active duty military, down to I believe Alabama to enforce desegregation.
okay. And that was what was that from? That was the Insurrection Act, or
Yeah, Insurrection Act.
I'm terrible at spelling. Insurrection Act of 1807. So 1878, the Posse Comitatus. Let's see, Latin for power of the county. That's what it means. Legal comms. Let's see. Purpose. Okay. Prohibits Army and Air Force. Wow. Just the Army and Air Force from acting as a
Well,
posse comitatus.
they because the Navy, like you can't put ships uh
You can't.
on land. I mean,
You can't.
I mean, I mean you can.
Are the
They just
Marines not part of the Navy?
the Marines are part of the Navy. Yeah. So I mean, technically, yeah, you could have the Marines storm a beachhead. They could storm San Diego Beach.
Why? Why?
Like,
Why storm a beachhead? Can't you just drop them? Or well, the paratroop. That's the Air Force, isn't it? Paratroopers are Air Force,
yeah, but the Marines have
airborne.
helicopters.
Yeah, the Marines have helicopters too. Like the
Yeah,
Marine,
I think the Marines have planes too.
I, I am pretty sure that the Navy created the Marines for the sole purpose of, hey, if you guys can go on land, we can too. I'm pretty sure that was the whole reason. The Navy felt left out. They're like, it's not fair. We're carting those bastards around to let them go have all the fun, and we got to sit out here in our boats. Screw you guys. Okay, all the crazy ones. Yeah, yeah. Okay, come on. We're
Yeah,
in a separate division, and we're going to send you on land. No,
I remember somebody. I remember somebody explaining to me like the Marines are like America's pit bull. You keep
yeah,
them caged up and angry
yep.
all the time. Like,
Keep them on the boats.
yeah, this Marine side is like, he's like, yeah, dude, they don't feed us, they don't give us anything that we want. They like, so we stay angry.
Yeah. I mean, and and the fact that the Navy is the one that they are under is the funny part. Well, I don't know if that's funny, but
Yeah.
well, well. I mean, here in North Carolina, down near where I used to live, they have a Marine Corps air station,
Yep. Makes sense. No,
which is they
I,
have they have the verts there. The what are they? The vertical takeoff and landing, the VTLs, the
yeah,
Harriers, right?
yeah.
Harriers are the
I
Harriers
think
the
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Harrier base. Like, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
just
regulated. It's not regulated by the Air Force.
no.
It's the Navy.
Yeah. Well, it's the Marine Corps, and the Marine Corps is under the Navy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's again, again. So the Air Force has boats, right?
I don't think so. No.
You don't have any boats. Why
Not
not?
um
You got the
not on top.
paratroopers. So
Yeah.
you got the paratroopers. So you got the land forces. Why don't you have any boats, man? Will you just hitching a ride with the Navy?
No, we fly there. Like, I mean,
Well, you don't use the aircraft
why would I
carriers.
want to get on a boat when I can get there on a plane much faster?
Well, okay,
Like
so the Air
I have to
Force
get on a
doesn't.
C-130 before I get on an aircraft carrier. All
You
that.
you do what?
I said I get on a C-130 before I get on
Aircraft carrier.
an aircraft carrier.
Well, the aircraft carrier is the Navy, right? And
Yeah.
then the planes that they fly off of is the Marines. The Marines fly the planes.
No, I on the carriers. I think that's the Navy that's flying those.
Oh, it's just the
they
regular Navy.
yeah. Then but I know the Marine Corps they had like you said they have the Harriers and then I don't know what and then I know they have Hueys because I
Yeah,
flew
they
around on
have
quite a few of those when I was in
helicopters.
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
Well, they
And
have the Chinooks too, don't
And
they?
screw those guys, dude. Those things leaked everywhere, dude. I remember being middle of the night, like I'm
Did you
sitting
just say
there
the Hueys?
in a
Did you just say the
oh, dude,
Hueys leak?
yeah, like oil and all. Like I don't know what it was, dude. Seriously, like I'm sitting there in the middle of the night, and it's pitch black because
It's
they
nighttime.
don't yeah well and they don't turn on any of the lights so
Yeah,
that that people so you can't be seen from the air.
yeah.
And so they're flying dark, and then like I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "What is warm like right now?" And I'm like looking at and then all of a sudden I'm touching my uniform. I was like, "Why am I wet, like and sticky?" Like
That
I don't
wasn't
know what
helicopter
was
oil.
leaking, but it
That
was
wasn't
leaking all over
helicopter
me.
oil.
Yeah.
That wasn't. That was the Marines showing that they are free. The warm and sticky stuff all over the
I
uniform. That meme from earlier. that wasn't. That wasn't a monkey. That was a Marine. But you're in a cage. No, I'm not. Oh
Oh
gosh, I
god.
hope if there's any Marines that watch this, they get a kick out of that. Anyways, if not, sorry. Um, no, it's but that's what it because and I think that this might go back to because there's nothing that says that the Navy can't do land, air, and sea. It just says the Navy. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you have the Army, which I think
Well,
that
yeah,
they have air too, right? They have planes. Army
they
has
do.
planes
Yeah, the army has planes and helicopters.
and boats. Do they have boats?
I think only the Navy has boats.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow,
that's
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 interesting.
their jam.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, I know the Air Force has the Space Force as well, or is they're a separate branch now?
Yeah, I think they're a separate branch now.
Because air and space, airspace,
Yeah,
space,
airspace, space
two different
space.
ones. Yes, Air Force, Space Force, two different things.
Yeah,
And where's that line where you guys devise like, hey, you guys can't come up here?
yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so the purpose of the Posse Comitatus Army and Air Force from acting as for domestic law enforcement unless authorized by Constitution or Congress. Congress has created exceptions for specific federal missions like enforcing federal laws or protecting federal property, and other laws permit military assistance during national or natural disasters under the Stanford
And
Act for logistics, which makes sense because I mean you have the Army Corps of Engineers.
yeah.
They're military, right?
Well, yeah. Well, and then usually when FEMA gets deployed, they either go with the National Guard or or
Some
sometimes
military,
active duty. Yeah.
yeah,
So
military
there's
or
that.
militia. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look,
So
there's a separate anti-government extremist group emerged in the '60s. called the Posse Comitas Group.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Enough of that. So let's get back to. Let's see. So we gotta look at the Insurrection Act and the Posse Comitas Act and put that possibly can't be used as law enforcement. What language should constrain use of the military, national defense, international only. Yep.
Well, yeah,
All right.
yeah, and it can't be used to police or
Yep.
attack American citizens
Yeah.
or you know operations against American citizens or on American soil. I think something
Well.
like that.
Yeah. Operations. Operations or what? What else? Or missions?
Yeah, police can't be used as a police force against American
Well,
citizens or in support of like active operations against.
I think the Posse Comitas Act does that. That's why I have it in there.
Yeah,
But I don't. We'll do because I like the idea operations or missions against American citizens on American soil. I don't think
yeah,
that the Posse Comitas Act covers that. Okay, let's move on to the militia. Or actually, I think you're almost out of time, aren't you?
yeah. I'm out of time.
You're out of
Uh,
time, man.
I think
Okay,
that's stopping.
let's do this real quick. We got 4 minutes. It's all the same in
Okay,
all of these, anyways.
okay, we got it.
It's the
Let's do it.
militia one because we said we were going to do the military next.
Yeah,
Let's see. Provide calling forth a militia, execute laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, repel invasions. Organizing militia for governing such part of them may be employed in the service of the United States, reserving the states respectively, appointing their officers, da 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 da. Oh, wait a second. The appointment of the officers, the authority of training, and militia according to the discipline prescribed by Congress, and the use of militia when not in the service of the United States for purposes authorized by laws of the state. Hold on. Okay, that's a little different. So, reserving for the states the appointment of the officers, the authority of training the militia according to the discipline prescribed by Congress. Okay? The conservative one adds, and the use of the militia when not in service of the United States for purpose authorized by the laws of the states. Okay, so this is what I take this as. To provide for, as they be employed as for governing such part of them as may be employed in the service of the United States, reserving for the states respectively the appointment of the officers, authority of training the militia according to what's described by Congress, and the use of the militia when not in service to the United States for the purposes authorized by the laws of the state. So essentially, the state can't refuse or can't control the National Guard, the state National Guard, when it's in the service of the United States for purposes authorized by the laws of the state. Now that's kind of key because it regulates when when the national government, when the United States has the ability to use the National Guard, the state's National Guard. The laws of the state when not in the service of the United States for purposes authorized by the laws of the state. So the state can pass the laws by which the United States can use their National Guard.
mm,
I think that
that's
that is
interesting.
I think that that's a little key rather than the US saying, "Hey, get your National Guard over here. Sorry, you got to give us a reason according to our state laws why you can take our National Guard."
Yeah, I
Well,
I've been
we need to pick up trash in DC. Sorry, that's not authorized by our state laws. I like that.
yeah I like it too. I think that's a good idea. I mean that the states can regulate when
When
the federal government can call up their militia.
I agree with that. I think that that is a good one. Again, that is states' rights a little bit there. Hey, We have laws of why you can use our National Guard, and you're not meeting them. Okay, I like that. The other stuff is
Well,
the
yeah,
same.
especially when you look at the political climate today, like
Yeah,
it's incredibly relevant.
yeah. Okay, let's see what the Libertarian has to provide for calling forth a militia, execute laws of the Union, which I think laws of the Union suppress insurrections and repel invasions. Same. Provide for organizing, arming, and disciplining the militia, and for governing such part of them as may be employed in the service of the United States, reserving to the states respectively the appointment of its officers, the authority of training according to discipline. It's exactly the same. It's the same. Organizing, arming, and disciplining, or arming and disciplining the militia. Yep. Okay. Libertarian one is the same as the original, and
Yeah.
progressive is states their appointment of is the same as well. So I do like the conservative version that adds the use of the militia when not in the service of the United States for purposes authorized by the laws of the state. I like that. Is there anything else you think you could add to the National Guard? Like, I don't think that there's any problems with that.
The only thing that a concern that popped into my head was, okay, well, what if the state passes a law that says you can't use our National Guard for any reason whatsoever? I'm wondering if there should be some kind of baseline. I, okay, fair enough. I I just
It says
I
right here.
worry I
No, no,
worry how
no.
that undermines the current system.
No,
That,
the thing,
that's my concern.
I think that's where the first passage to provide for calling forth the militia to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions. That's what the United States has the ability to do. To provide for organizing, arming, and disciplining the militia, and for governing such part of them as may be employed in the service of the United States, reserving the states respectively appointment of the officers, authority of training according to Congress, and the use of the militia when not in the service of the United States for purposes authorized by the laws of the state. Now, you could say, I think at that point you could get into a judicial thing. Hey, we can call forth the militia to execute laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions. It says it right in the Constitution. Even though it says that it says the state can use the militia when not in the service of the U.S. for purposes authorized by the laws of the state. I would imagine that these three things would supersede that because it gives them the ability to call forth. It says it right there in the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you would have a judicial argument which one supersedes.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, okay. That makes sense to me.
But
Yeah,
this is what the laws of the Union, so the Union can create whatever laws they want, which Congress has to do. Suppress insurrections, and that's where the Insurrection Act comes in.
yeah.
What is an insurrection? And when can it be used? But I think that we are going to leave it at there because I know that you were already over a little bit.
Yeah, no worries.
I don't know. I think we did.
Yeah, I think we made some progress. I feel good about it.
Yeah, we definitely made some progress. We got through most of the military stuff here. I think that the next ones we only got two left in Section 8. Exclusive legislation in all
We
cases.
make it out of Section 8. It's exciting.
Yeah. So we got one more part. So this was part 5. We have a part 6 coming up. And I believe that there are, progressive Constitution adds some, and so does the. Oh, they look. There's only two there. The conservative. Oh man, look at that. Okay, the conservative Constitution has quite a bit more, so we'll look at all of those next time. But yeah, the conservative Constitution adds quite a few more, but I think that we'll be able to get through it one more time. I think we got one more part. We'll do part 6 next weekend. Should be,
Yep.
as long as we don't have any more things that happen over the weekends.
Yeah.
Luckily, the ice storm that we got out here didn't kill my power, so we were able to continue. But thanks everybody for coming out and joining us for this wonderful conversation. All kinds of little segues in there. Join us again next weekend. I know we've missed the last 2 weekends. Apologize for that, but we had some unexpected things happen.
This is my fault. I accept responsibility.
You accept responsibility. Okay, you guys heard it here first.
Yeah.
It's all Josh's fault.
I'm gonna flog myself after this.
You're gonna? Oh, really? Are you going to do it according to your religiously scrupulous rituals?
Is there any other way?
I don't. Well, make sure you do an extra one for me.
All right, I got this.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next weekend, hopefully, as long as no unexpected things happen. Until then, be kind to each other and yourself.
Make good choices.
There we go. There it is. Make good choices. Thanks, everybody. Bye.